Hi, this is Dr. Lipuma of the New Jersey Institute of Technology, and I'm recording for my Technical Communications course with material drawn from my text, Fundamentals of Undergraduate Education and Learning. What we're going to be looking at is a three-part video discussing the acronym WONDERFUL, which is intended to move you from the idea of gathering data through to the end, which is learning. The first part is the first third called ONE, Watch, Observe, and Notice. For us, we want to think about the idea that as you're trying to look at similar words and similar things, it's important to understand the distinction between them. We've looked at this before with groups, but we want to do something more. So you want to start with the idea of experiencing things. And for many people, these words are not just seeing. When you think of the word watch, observe, and notice, the idea here is that for many people, they all deal with looking at something, and again, they're used interchangeably. But for us in our class, they're actually going to have three distinct and different meanings as the way they are used. So let's start with the idea of watch. Now, in this sense, what we want to do is to think of it as taking in a sensory experience, usually with your vision. It doesn't always have to be. And what we're thinking about with watch is this is the first way that we can begin to gather data. On the next thing, we want to think about the idea of observe. For us, observe is more than just watching. It's actually actively taking part in the process such that you put effort to take in certain aspects of the situation or experience. What we're trying to move you from is simply being an idle watcher of the scene into an active observer so that you can begin to gather information about your situation and your target as you make your package. Now, the last part of this is the idea of notice. And what we're looking for is that you're putting mental activity in to recognize certain specific aspects in the events and details. If you can move to the idea of noticing things and cultivate yourself into doing that, you can begin to get better at understanding what's going on as you make your observations. To move you from the beginning to the end is the idea that this is a range. Rather than be three separate elements or parts of a whole, watching, observing, and noticing are intimately involved, and they move along a range of mental activity such that when you watch, you passively take in things. When you observe, you actively take them in and perhaps reflect. And then finally, noticing asks you to analyze and mark down or note things you have seen.